Okay, in today's video we're having a quick look at my newly finished Emotator 1103 MSXB. This is the controller. Just picking up, trying not to get too much light. This is what I've just finished. This is the standard controller. On the front panel we have the power switch, of course, and we have the direction switch, which is a toggle left and right. So left and right, and we also have a lock facility, so for hands-free operation, both sides. And you might notice there's a little baby LED here. That is the brake engagement LED, which is controlled by this PCB here. This is the BDS35 brake delay PCB that I've developed for rotators with solenoid brakes in them. This one has the two capacitors there is to do with the delay, and you can have select 3 or 5 second delay before the brake is reactivated. So basically it has a terminal board on this side, a terminal block, not terminal board on this side, block on this side. It's all the wiring, so you've got no soldering to do. You've got your relay on this side, just here. In here we have a brand spanking new, made in Australia, 100 volt power supply, and down inside here we have the display power supply for the 8 and 12 volts. Down inside this, if we can get the light shining in the right direction, we have LEDs, 12 volt LED strip there, and if I can get the light in the right direction, reflecting up in here, you can see them up the side there. There's the top set as well. So there we go, there's that. I'll come around over here. We have a standard PC board and its mounting brackets here. We have my LED power supply here, bridge rectifier, capacitor, and basically a buck booster. And it can actually take 8 volts, which is supplied to the normal lights, and convert it into 12 volts, so stepping up. So I use those a lot in these particular ones. So on the back panel we have, now if I get really close and I can actually focus without flaring it out too much, I'll flare it, there we go. You can probably see there's etching, there we are, etching of the numbers for the pinouts. So 1357 and 2468 for the cinch plug, and we also have a fused IEC socket here. We have the meter adjustment, and we actually have an earth bolt as well. The actual chassis was actually re-zinc plated, so that's all. It's probably going to flare out like anything. So basically that was all. It's all been done and finished. The front panel has been cleaned up, and then I used this special flaring it out. Use this special plastic primer. Which seems to work really well, and then I painted it, primed it, and then I painted it with this smoked grey colour, as well as I did the switch as well. So there we go. So there we are. That's a quick look at the actual controller. I'll just sit him down there for a second, and we'll have a look at the my new bracket. This is a 1217 bracket. It's normally meant to be for the 1105 and 1200 rotators. So basically this has been strip cleaned and then glass bead blasted and then primed with etch primer, and then it has had a coat of a couple of coats of pewter and epoxy enamel. So you might notice I've got some fairly hefty clamps on here. These are my new all stainless steel folded 3mm stainless steel clamping brackets with 10mm U-bolts. So they're not going to bend in a hurry, and the teeth, as you can see, are very sharp, so they bite in really well, and I'm going to put a lot of pressure on the whole shebang. So there's a quick run around of the mast clamp. The rotator, we'll do a quick run around of that. If I can just move the controller back just a little bit. So it's a solenoid brake control rotator. So inside this section here, there's the sections for the solenoids. It's a twin solenoid, so you've got a twin coming out, wedges coming out from either side, engaging in this housing here. So on the front we have a new LTW Amphenol plug, which is actually attached to all the internals, and if you want to service it, just undo this nut, push it inside and lift everything out, and you can uncouple the actual, I've got a plug actually onto the solenoid, which you can actually pull the guts out and leave the solenoid in there, so where normally you've got to unsolder everything and a real pain. So this one has a seal on here, up and under here, and when you look at the bottom, I'll get the wording up the right way. Just has a plate. This is how you actually can get and gain access to the actual solenoid and whatnot. So yeah, it's that bottom there. It's not exactly like this one either. So there we go. So there's a quick look around at that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug all this in, but first off I'm going to slide the actual housing back onto the controller, and we'll get that all back together again. We'll hook in the little stay into here, into the back right there. We slide him in. We get the screw. I'll put this in the middle of the thing so I can see what I'm doing. And we line up the. Oops, it's not all the way engaged yet. There we go. And we line up wherever it is. We find the hole. Okay. There we go. Now we found the hole. No, we didn't. Okay. Not looking properly here. This is she's not actually totally in line. Okay, we'll try that again. Yeah, that's better. Right. And we have a new, newly painted back panel on this one. So let's see if we can get this hold the line up. So what we're going to do is, once we get this all together, I'm going to wire it up and we'll take it for a quick drive to show you it working. Just it'll be good to get this back together again. We'll lay him down, put his feet back in again, and clean these feet up with a new product, and they're in really good condition now. They didn't look too good before, and after cleaning them up they look like new ones. So we're going to turn him over. We get the other legs, other feet done. There we go. And it's pretty boring stuff, but I suppose putting something together, I suppose you've got to do it. Okie dokie, so there we go. So I've already got my power cables and everything sitting here. IEC socket's fused, so we'll plug that into there. Make sure the power is actually off, which it is. Okay, we'll plug our control cable in. Cinch socket, 8 pin. We're only using 7 pins of this particular of this one. So basically, swing him around. We'll run the cable back around the other way, and we'll plug him in, locate him up. Wires going everywhere. Get that out of the rope. Let's slide this back so we can see what's going on. Get these plugs out of the road. That way a bit. So that's okay. Rightio. We shall turn him on. There we go. And as said before, we have the LED would be illuminated now, but it's so much light around here you won't see it at the present moment. So we'll take him for a quick drive. As you can probably hear when I press the button, you'll hear the solenoid release or retract. So then we can just let it re-engage again. We can take another drive. I like using the hands-free part of this one, so you can actually just hold it and then just stop and hold and stop, and you get him to stop without having to let the brake re-engage. But and the brake will re-engage every time you stop. We can lock it. We'll let it cut around to west. We might actually bring them a little bit closer so you can hear the wedge a bit better. Getting this last clamp in a bit. to make it a little bit better. So, oh, went past. So we'll stop them again, let the brake engage again. And there we go again. As you can see, these are the LTW Amphenol 7-pin plugs that I use. All plastic, high temperature and everything else. Really good plugs, easy to get a hold of. And I use cinch plugs, 8-pin cinch plugs for the controller. So we come around the south, we'll stop at south. We'll go back the other way, and we'll take a bit of a drive back the other way. You can see the LEDs have illuminated the screen here reasonably well. You'll see it better in the at night time, but that's how it goes. So we just stop in there for a second, let the brake re-engage. We'll go again. This rotator has a 240 volts input, or at 50 hertz input, has about 110 second rotation time, so it's quite slow, but it's it's for turning big aerials. So it's a 2.5 wind area rotator. You can see all the specifications for this on my website. I've got a specification chart for all the Emotator rotators, new and old, and so I've only just done a reasonable update of that just recently, so check that out. So here we go, we'll come up to north, we'll stop them again, let the brake re-engage so you can hear the brake going again. So we'll stop them at north, and it's all hands-free at the present moment, so we can just bump the little switch down, and we'll just automatically disengage. The brake engages again, and press it, and we can go again. The brake goes. So there we go, it's slow and steady, this. They're a fairly old rotator, but this one's in pretty good condition. I had to, all I had to do was the internal chassis. I actually physically had reground the bearing tracks to up one size to 10mm because they had a bit of wear and a bit of ditches on the tracks. So I had a friend of mine who's at a lathe, and he actually reground the tracks. So there we go. We'll stop in there. Let the brake engage again. And go again. So the tracks were upgraded, and we put 10mm bearings in it. So now it's upgraded. It's nice and tight. There's hardly any movement up and down or sideways. It's just right. We took a bit to get it exactly right. So this one is now ready to go, and will be up for sale very shortly after I finish the manual. So we'll stop him there, and there's that. And then we might even just, what the hell, we'll just take a bit of a drive back around to north again, just to start working. So slow and steady. So there we go. I also got all the nuts and bolts for all the mast clamps and the bolts and stuff for the bolting. All stainless steel 396, all ready, ready to go. So I'll start on the manual part of this. I'm just going to do a few minor changes to the one I've already set up. So I'll get that done, and this will be up for sale. So after I do all my build list and calculate everything out, so we'll be up and running. So coming back up to north, it's 60 degrees now. We'll just stop it there again. Let the brake engage again, and we'll just go again, hands free again. I like these little catch though, they're very easy to use, very light, and we can bring him down again, and we'll stop him basically at north, and that'll be it. If we get to north, so then go, let it coast, and there we go, brakes engaged. Okay, we'll see you next video. Catch you later, bye.